What up, guys and girls? Another brand new video coming at you today. Yes, we are back again for another round of the SRL APAC Championship. We're here for round number 7 here at the Canadian Grand Prix. Again, apologies, I forgot to get the championship tables from the previous round at Monaco, but to confirm, I do have the championship standings after this round, so that is a good positive. But like I mentioned, we are here in Canada, and things are going to get off to a flying start here because I've just gone straight off the road at, well, I think this is turn 2. I think Warden's had enough as well. By the looks of things, he's a bit slowing coming out of there as Benz just takes us both of us. But as you can see here, we are in a little bit of wet weather here in Canada, so definitely throws up a few surprises around this track does Canada for sure anyway. So just look back to even when I was watching back the race from the race in 2011, it was certainly a chaotic race, and it's certainly, I hope, going to live up to the hype for this one anyway. But yeah, here for qualifying. Again, wasn't really sure what to expect here. Obviously, last couple of races have not been brilliant, if I'm completely honest. Well, to put it that way, is I run completely off at the turn 3 and 4. Just decided to continue on with the lap. Well, what has it been? Azerbaijan, DNF'd, Spain, DNF'd, Monaco, DNF'd. I'm just hoping really to finish this race because it's been a while since I've actually finished one. Probably China was probably the last one I got finished off. But Derek Kidd's actually out of qualifying. You can see his car is actually stuck out on track like that. I seriously don't know how he crashed like that there, but trust me, he must have found a way anyway. But anyway, we're coming around the final couple of corners. We are still doing a lap anyway, even though I sort of technically cut the chicane out a little bit there, but we come across the line now and we go P3 with a 120.672. Yeah, not really, we're just really just doing laps at this point in time anyway. So, I mean, I think that it was possibly drying up, I think, later on in qualifying from what I saw in the weather forecast, but yeah. Just basically just trying to do laps now. Ryan now sits the fastest lap of the race. Not the race. Qualifying as we run wide through turn 6. It's, I mean, I was up by about a second, I think I was, on the previous lap, but I mean, I was still going quicker at this point. I mean, later on I did regain a little bit of time, but I really lost out earlier on in the lap. So again, another across the line now. We dropped back down obviously to P6. We were at a 120.316, and actually DRS has just been enabled, so obviously now the time is right for dry tyres. But I think I was trying to do maybe one more lap just to see what the tyres would be like, and probably just stay out for as long as I could really until it was just a point, or unless I aborted a lap. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't really too bad. I mean, much better. I mean, it could have had a few errors probably fixed up along the way, but you know, it is what it is. So you can get past fence there, but have a big of a lock up through turns into turn 8, and had to take the shortcut, which of course you have to use that little arrow there to the left, obviously, which we went past, so which we did the right thing. Hopefully, if anybody else does that, hopefully they do anyways. But yeah, come back straight in. That was pretty much, I boarded that lap straight away, so come back into the pit lane and just going to chuck on a set of dry tyres. Now, I wasn't really sure what to go on here, so I was thinking it through. I thought, you know, I may as well just start. We've got still 10 minutes left of this session, so, I mean, we're going to take out a bit of fuel as well. I think we're going to go out on the ultra soft tyres. Excuse me. And that was already the lap times set on the intermediates, but yeah, the track will pick it up big time anyway. Going into this one, but yeah, I mean, I wasn't really sure what tyres to start on because, again, it's pretty much like on most tracks, hypersofts really don't last long, and I mean, ultra softs can take you a lot longer. So I mean, you could say it's a little bit more of a practice to get an idea of what it is for AOR later in the weekend. But you see Conrad went to the top there. Should have just stopped qualifying there because he went with a 14, and now Alan here goes into the 111, so the track is getting quicker. We should have probably just red flagged the section once Conrad did his lap time, but anyway, it is what it is. But actually, this is going to be my fastest lap, and you'll probably see why a little bit later in qualifying. So anyway, trying to get a nice run here onto the front straight. heading down into turn one, eventually using every single bit of rev limiter I could. Probably ran a little bit too wide here coming through turn two. It's probably cost me a little bit of time here, but you can see we are definitely improving on the delta time, but try and fly through here. You can corner cut at turn 4 there, but now through turn 5 and then turn 6, we're actually going purple through sector 1 there, so we're looking pretty good at the moment. Trying to get a nice run out of there. Turn 7. Now coming up through turns 8 and 9, where I had the little off earlier on, but yeah, probably went a little bit too deep into there and actually give the wall a little bit of a glance, which thankfully I don't think I've got any front wing domes there, but still going purple again into sector 2 here. We're nearly about, what are we? Probably about, 7 odd seconds up at this stage of time, so I mean, we're definitely going to improve at this stage. We're currently in P11 at the moment. Obviously, you guys have improved so far, but now coming up to the final chicane, there's the wall of champions off to the right there. Get up as close as you can. Probably should have taken the shorter line if I had the chance, but anyway, we come across the line, we set provisional pole.
That was the fastest lap.
Which was pretty cool. We had 10.464 and actually invalidate my lap time. So, and then get onto the grass and then hit the wall. And actually, HO now takes provisional pole. I think he's first guy into the 1 minute nines. I was sort of like quickly trying to get out of the road as quick as I could, so I didn't affect HO as much. But he's already, as he said, he's quickest time on the ultra soft tires as well, just letting Neon Tree Dome go as well. So now I've got to obviously come back into the pit lane as now Jared now goes into the 109. So there's the guy, everybody's really starting to improve now. I think Neon's actually got provisional P1 for the time being, but my teammate is back for this weekend. Matt is out of qualifying. Not sure. Can't remember when he had a crash or something, but yeah, it's not been a great run at all for my teammate. But about 5 minutes to go. I thought, you know what, may as well try the hypersoft run.
So far, our fastest lap is a 1 minute 10.4. Standing by.
Yeah, I was not mucking around, so I didn't get the timings at this stage anyway. So anyway, we're just gonna go back out there, and like I said, you'll probably understand why that ultra soft one run was my fastest lap. So Conrad has now retired from qualifying. So yeah, that was actually on the out lap. So just ignore that. I was still having dramas with that even in this game. I mean, it was an issue in the last game as well. So Alan Hugo now I think is in a 108s. They're in a 108 flat, but setting off now for what should have been my fastest lap, hopefully, in this I was hoping in qualifying, but into turn 1 and 2. Again, running a bit wide at turn 2, which again is really not helping my cause at all. So hoping to improve that a little bit there. But get on the grass a little bit there and had to take the shortcut, which obviously has invalidated my lap time. It's weird as it invalidated that one, but it didn't invalidate the one on the intermediate tires. Must have just slowed down enough anyway. But I did fill up the car for 2 runs just in case something like that would happen. So again, trying a little bit better. But yeah, much better run through turn 2, gaining a lot of time through there. But this was the critical one I had to get through here. So far so good, but it's ended. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I wasn't really too overly thrilled at this stage that I've done it twice on a hypersoft front. I probably would have got up a little bit higher if I probably got it right anyway, but yeah, straight back into the lane. And yeah, that is pretty much why my qualifying session is done and dusted. So we're currently P7 at the moment. So I was sort of praying and hoping that I would drop out of the top 10. And you probably see why. So Master Berserk looks like he's going to join the crowd, a la Fernando Alonso did probably, what was it, a couple of seasons ago, 2017 I think. But you see Fens is still on a flying lap here. He's way down in 15th position there. But yeah, that was pretty much all the qualifying done and dusted. Another great amount of XP there, but it was actually Alan Hugo who gets pole position on the hypersoft tyres with a 108.071. He's on hypersoft tyres, but I'm down in P12, so I will be starting on the fresh rubber, so which is a good positive sign anyway. My teammate in P18, I think it is, but yeah, a lot of work to do for sure as we go straight to the race.
Okay, the first lap is always a bit hectic. Make sure you give other cars a lot of room. We don't want any problems.
Cheers for that, Jeff. As always, welcome to the grid. As you can see there, the race strategy is predicting a two-stop, but as you can see by the icon, the weather icons, it was predicted to get to the to the end. I've just got a bit stumbled there. The wet weather was predicted for the end of this race, so it was a little bit up in arms what tyres to go on for this one. So it was either a choice of going super soft tyres and going long, or going on the ultra soft tyres to see what occurred. But in the end, I decided to sort of try out the super soft tyres and just hope maybe try and get moved up to the grid. But I absolutely get hammered into the back to by somebody. I'm not sure exactly who I got hammered by, but yeah, as you can see here, there's quite a lot of the grid actually that got disqualified during the formation lap. So yeah, it's currently going swimmingly so far at the moment, but here's all the rest of them coming through that actually did take part in the formation lap. So hopefully we can get a decent result out of this. If we can stretch out these super soft tyres to maybe the wet period, then we might be in for a good showing for this race. But here we go, starting from position 12 on the grid. Here we go, we're all set for the round number 7 here in SRL. 5 red lights. It's a very long hole, but let's do it around Canada, and it's a pretty good average start, not gonna lie. ECR Ricardo's got a really good start up the inside a couple of spots. Got to bang up the rear end, I think, from possibly Conrod Straight. I'm not really sure there, but actually got a warning there, so that might explain it. But yeah, get a spot back on Fens there. So we've already lost a couple of spots already. So ECR Ricardo got a really ripping start there, and my teammates now out of this race. So yeah, things are going really well so far at the moment. But just trying to hold off Fens here at the moment for 13th position. There's a little bit of a bump there. We've already, like I said, dropped a couple of spots. Here comes Derek Kidd, who's going to have a lot of slipstream. Going to go 3 wide here. Fens goes up the inside, and he gets the position at turn 9. So there's a lot of battling going on in the mid, a bit further on. But now just got to try and keep ahead of Derek Kidd, who goes to move up the inside. There's a little bit of chaos around. There's a Renault actually around, and somehow I don't get caught up in carnage for a change. So I've managed to survive that somehow. I don't really know how, but anyway, we've moved up into P13 ahead of Pomps to the win. H.O.'s actually pulled off to the side there. I think he's got a bit of front wing damage. I think Fens has as well, so they've now pulled straight into the pit lane, so a bit unfortunate for those guys, but it puts us now up into P11 on the brink of getting some points. TPR Edge ahead of us in position 10. He's on the Hypersoft tyre, so hopefully he can gain a bit of time on him, and hopefully his tyres will die out pretty soon, as there's my first corner cut, I think, for the race, I believe, anyway. So if I do stuff it up along the way, I'll do apologise, but yeah, just keeping following behind here with TPR Edge. Not really making any moves so far, but having a nice bit of oversteer moment coming out of the hairpin there at turn 10, and probably didn't help my losing my momentum a little bit to Edge, but you see Edge running a little bit wide into the grass there, coming through turns 3 and 4. So starting to probably feel the pressure a little bit, maybe starting to feel the hypersofts are going off a little bit, but make a mistake, you go a bit deep into turns 8 and 9. So now sort of got to do all that hard work again. Try and gain a little bit here on the back straight here, but make a meal of it, sort of him going deep into the final chicane, and have to obviously take the shortcut there and go past the arrow, which I've destroyed now. So pretty much going to screw everybody else over if anyone else makes mistakes. But sort of fell into the clutches a little bit with Palms of the win, so trying to hang on and keep in front of him, which I do for now anyway, but getting a little bit sideways through there. It wasn't the greatest of runs, not gonna lie, coming out of turns 8 and 9. Do set a provisional best time, but now there's my second corner cut warning already. So TPR Race is doing a pretty good job at the moment of holding me off at this stage. But here's a replay now from the start. So Master Berserker on board with here. He was near my teammate, who's lagging really all over the place. His internet connection is not being great as always, but yeah, that was just an unfortunate one, I think. Berserk obviously ran wide, but fortunately my teammate just got caught up in it. But now Presby C here, I don't know what he's been caught up in some drama. He's got a legal overtake here on H-Show, so I think he's trying to get the spot back, but I don't think he can because he's lost the spot now to Neon. He has to take that 5-second stop-go penalty. He's probably had no choice because H-Show's well and truly behind him. There's still a bit of a glitch, I think, in the game, but they're trying to make a comeback here on Neon Tree Dome in the final chicane. Can't really do much there. Neon's obviously on the hyper-soft tyres. He's on ultra-softs. Now, this is on board with Derek Kidd, so he probably had a bird's eye view of what happened with that crash that I avoided and probably some others didn't. So you see you got the run here, going up the inside here at the hairpin, and looked like it was an H-Show to turn Jim Char around, I believe, but yeah, Derek Kidd got caught up in that. I think Master Berserk's been caught up in that as well. Juice Mars, there's quite a few that were caught up in that one, I think. So yeah, now jumping back aboard with Master Berserk, so just dropping back through here. That would explain he's got straight ahead here at turns, that was turn 8 and 9, so he's had the spot go to Pomps to the win. I obviously saw what happened to Derek Kidd, so Juice Mars went up the inside. There was a little bit of bump and rub. That might explain. Berserk just got caught up, jammed there pretty much in between Juice Mars and obviously that little drama up there as well. So I think it was H-Show that turned Chimchar around, so that might explain why he had the front wing damage. So yeah, a bit unfortunate for those guys. They're going to have to make a comeback to the field, but now we're trying to make a move here on TPRH. We've got much better drive here compared to him on the end of lap 5. We've got DRS, so we should hopefully get this done on this back straight here, and we do well and truly that. So get it nice and nicely through there. So there we go. We're up into P10 now. So next up on the road is ECR Ricardo.
3.7 seconds.
Yeah, obviously you can tell he's a bit further up the road. So now we've just got to. I mean, we don't really need to conserve here. We could go, like I said, super softs go for a long period, but just for however long the wet weather goes for us there. I get a little bit caught up on the grass there. I had no choice but to not take that chicane, but TPRH is going to have a little look out the inside here at turn 6. Nearly getting my turns wrong there, but just managing to hang on for now, but he's being hassled a little bit there by Pomps of the win. Now we're just keeping ahead as we get another corner cutting penalty, so you can tell there's going to be a lot of corner cuts throughout this old race anyway. So yeah, ECR Ricardo looks like it's being held up by, I think that's Neon in the Ferrari. They said he's on different tyre strategies, but anyway, cutting a bit further on now to lap 7. Nothing much pretty happened. There's just another corner cutting warning there. So that's warning number 5, I think it is. So and I think you're about to see warning number 6. So there's the. There's another time penalty. I think there's a yellow flag behind. It looked like a Renault of Pomps to the winner. I don't know what's occurred there. He's been caught up in some drama or what. I think it was Pomps to the winner. It might be Chimchar, my bad anyway, because Pomps has actually got by TPR Edge. I'm not sure Edge has come into the pits, probably not, but Pomps had a look at the inside of the turn 1. There goes Alan Hugo, who's obviously come in for his pit stop. Got back out in the ultra soft tyre, so I think he's sort of trying to drag it out and leave it to the wet weather periods. Chimchar's obviously out of the Grand Prix, as you saw. I'm not sure what happened. Looks like he sort of crashed into the pit lane there. Don't really have much footage to go by, except for that anyway. But just trying to hang on here to Pomps, because we are on the same tyre strategy on super soft tyres, so we're trying to drag this on as much as we can. But now coming up into this corner, which already caused me drama so far, as I ran it too hot and I've got into the wall. May have caught up in a... get my words out in a minute. I think I may have gave Pomps a little bit of damage, I'm not sure, but I've definitely got damage, so this has probably screwed my super soft tyre run here. So yeah, I was just going to, at this point I thought, yeah, no, let Derek Kidd go through. There's no point battling him, because I thought, yeah, I was going to, yeah, in the end I decided to, I think, pit this lap because there was just no point with no front wing. So and we come into the pit lane. So I mean, I think there's a few other guys in the lane. You can see Neon ahead in the Ferrari. He's pitted. I think we're the only other one here by the looks of things. So obviously get a new front wing change. a set of ultra soft tyres to maybe see when this wet weather period will come. Anyway, so did ask for a little change in the front wing as well, down to I think 2 from memory. It might be 2 or 3, one of them. Anyway, it's changed it down anyway, so we're going to come out. Bit of fresh air here. So we're still going to come out ahead of Master Berserk in P15 behind HO 14. There is a replay of a bit further on. Warden battling away with Presby on lap 9. Nice crisscross there from Warden. He's going to look up the inside here into turn 3. Give each other space. He's still giving each other space. Nearly running into the wall there. Oh, he got caught up in the left rear a little bit, did Presby C. I think he's lost the spot to another car. Might be a lap car, I'm not sure, but from the looks of it, it is a lap car. So Rain is now out of the Grand Prix. Derek Kidd's out of the Grand Prix. TPR Edge, I think, is outside of the Grand Prix. We've got Purple in sector 1. So something's occurred further up the road here. So you'll be able to see, there's TPR Edge off to the right. So I think he's done that separately. Whereas these guys, I think they've maybe come together somewhat. There's a lot of debris all over the shop here, so I don't really know what's going on here. We'll probably have to check some replay cameras here, but Alan Hugo just set the fast lap of the race. It moves up into P12 anyway, so this is not what started it, I don't think. So, what was it? Rain and ECR Ricardo look like they've had a little drama into turn 1 by the looks of things. It's not ball with Pomps to the win, by the way. But coming through turns 8 and 9, so Rain a little moment into the wall and slams into the other wall, and I think it's just come straight back across into the path of Derek Kidd, which is a real shame actually, because I think Derek Kidd probably would have had some good decent pace as well, but Pomps managed to survive all that and now up into P8. But this is the on-board I think we want to see. So on board with Derek Kidd, so obviously Rain hits the wall on the right, then the left, then comes straight back across. Rain's obviously in the wall and out, and now Derek Kidd is now out of the race as well. Just pretty much nothing he could do there anyway. So it's on lap 11, having a little moment through the final chicane there. And yeah, it was really starting to darken up here a little bit. So I didn't think the wet weather was too far away. Get another warning there. What's number warning are we up to here? I'm not sure. It must be 8. Well, looks of things, but yeah, it seemed like the weather was sort of imminent, even though it did say as get the 9th corner cut there, so that's another penalty. 9 seconds now with penalties, I think.
Be mindful of the conditions. The track is getting wetter. Recommend you stay out for now, though. It'll be much slower if we move on to inters this early.
Yeah, so Jeff just giving me an update. So it's not far away. So we thought the wet weather was going to come maybe towards the end of the race, but looks like it may have just come a little bit earlier than predicted. We take another corner cutting warning there, and I don't know whether you can see on the screen there, they may be starting to get a little bit more wet on the screen now, so you can see them losing the back end a hell of a lot now. So I think the wet weather's sort of starting to set in here a little bit, sort of closing in on HO, sort of trying to make a recovery after the earlier
tough, but bear with it. I don't think the track is ready for intermediates yet.
Yeah, it's not quite there, I don't think, but it's getting real close. But HO may try to make a comeback after his earlier drama. Juice Mars is out of the Grand Prix, so he may have had a little drama in the final corner, as I have a little drama coming through the final chicane, having a nice slide there. But I think he may have just rage quitted, and yeah, his AI car still being driven around. So that's anyway, we'll continue on. Lap 15 we go now. We're going to cut, I think, a bit further on now into lap 15. You can see the wet weather is really starting to set in now. You can probably see the spots on the screen now. So if you didn't already see that before, you probably see it now. So
battery charge is high. Let's increase ERS deployment to up the pace. A new strategy is available on the MFD.
Now this is the one, this was the critical one here, because as Jeff said, there was the strategy call, and I immediately took it. So I felt like the weather conditions were really starting to change now.
And remember the speed limit.
There's a big lock up into the hairpin there.
As you approach.
So yeah, it's really starting to come down now, I think. I think now is probably the time, as my teammates actually, oh, he's left the session actually, I'm not sure, well, he's already out of the race anyway. But now DRS has now been disabled, so this is sort of the perfect time to come in and get onto the intermediate tyres, I think. There's a few other guys as well. Just managed to get it slowed down. Probably some of the other guys would be hoping that would have come a bit earlier for them, but we got Neon is in again, so pretty much come in at the same time as he has. So I think who else? Spence is in. So that's Spence obviously just up the road. There's HO just leaving the pits as well. So pretty much in their battle group, I think, for the rest of this race. Well, hopefully anyway. So but just trying to take it a bit cautiously. I nearly ran off the road again coming out of the pits like what I did in qualifying, but now the goal here, I think is pretty much just to take these tyres to the end of the race, but they were really stone cold, as you can see. Trying to get on the power, just not a lot anyway. So we're now just trying to catch up to the guys in front here. There's a little bit of a braking moment there, and yeah.
Time penalty will go against our finishing time at the end of the race.
Now 12 seconds of time penalties, I think we're up to now. So now just trying to get into rhythm, because usually I'm not a wet weather master, if I'm honest. I don't really do a lot of wet weather practice, rarely do it actually, but probably something I should change for the future. But you see now, I think Neon's had a little bit of an off here, and wouldn't believe it, actually HO's actually had an off as well. I think these guys were actually in the same party chat.
Green flag.
I wasn't in their party chat, unfortunately, but I think these guys were having a bit of a laugh, but that actually both of them had to spin at the same time. So we gained a spot on HO. So we're now up at the P11. Now trying to get after Neon here. Just trying to see if we can get some points, because it needs to either finish or get some, either in the points or out of the points. Just anything will do, because obviously, like I said, the last three races DNF. So that wasn't the greatest of line coming out of turns 8 and 9. So probably lost my momentum a little bit to Neon there, but this final chicane was really giving me grief. There's another corner cutting warning there, so and I obviously had to keep HO behind as well. I'll do my best, obviously. Now on to lap 20. Sort of lost a little bit of ground to Neon there, but just sort of trying to catch back up here in the corners. If I'm just sliding in the rear, getting on the power too early here, and now I'm suddenly coming under pressure here from HO. Had no choice but to take that as a corner cut, so you see HO's just all over the rear end here, and sliding through turn 5. They're now slow coming through turn 6 and 7 here, just managing to hang on for now.
Conditions look pretty terrible, but that water is draining away. I think the intermediate is going to stay the tyre of choice for a while yet.
Yeah, it seems to be the right tyre of choice, as we get another 3-second time penalty. So
for that last incident.
That's now, I think, 15 seconds worth, so it's not really helping my cause. I had to go down the inside line here, but in doing that, I probably broke a little bit too late, so that's just going to gift HO the position here, and that's putting back up into P11. Now try and chase after these guys.
They have a time penalty of 6.0.
I think, I'm not sure whether that was for HO or for Master Berserk. It was either one of those.
21.1 seconds.
But yeah, we got a fair margin anyway over Master Berserk, but if I keep corner cutting like that, the gap will probably come down a bit further down anyway. But yeah, just trying to keep on the back of these guys, but running wide through 6 and 7 is not really going to help my cause here. I just lost all the momentum here. So at this stage, I was sort of, you can see the tyre wear. The rears were starting to go a little bit, but I think at this point I was sort of like resigned to the fact that this probably maybe the finishing position, getting really close up to the wall. Champions there, nearly crashed into the wall there. There's still a bit of an update on the tyre wear as well. Now cutting a bit further up later on, and again another corner cutting warning there. So and I've sort of dropped away a little bit here from both HO and Neon, who've started to battle here a little bit up the road as we get a nice little slide through 6 and 7 again. So I mean, I'm slowly sort of getting into the Inter's rhythm, but it wasn't really working out as what I predicted. There's a yellow flag a bit further up the road here, so there's been a bit of a drama here. We'll wait and see in a second.
Caution.
Come through the final chicane now. It's actually, there's a graphic that changed on the top left, because that's Poms to the win now ahead of us, so something's occurred there with Poms and someone else. I think Poms going straight ahead. I nearly followed him actually, taking the first and second corners there, going straight ahead, but Yeah, I think Poms has been caught up in a little bit of drama here. I don't know exactly who it was off the top of my head. I possibly could have been one of the Williams cars. I'm not sure. It could have been SRL Ricardo from memory, but I could be wrong. But now we get the spot on Poms, who's obviously really struggling. He possibly has a bit of front wing damage, I think. So
rain to ease up in around 5 minutes. 5 minutes till light rain.
If this is not light rain, then what is this? Because it felt pretty okay at the moment, but now we're catching up to a lap car of Conrad. Exit Dona's now out of the Grand Prix. Looks like he's crashed coming onto the front straight there. So at this point, we are actually going to get some points here. There's Exit Dona's just left his session straight away. So yeah, obviously approaching a back marker in Conrad and does the right thing in pulling out of the way. So really kind to Steve Bingham. I just give him a little wave to say thank you for that one. So but now coming through the final chicane, get another corner cut and another penalty. So now 18 seconds worth of penalty. So now we get past what was the crash car of Exodona. So now we're up into, so we're now into P9 actually, because Prez BC's actually come into the pits. So I don't know what happened with Prez, but all of a sudden we've gained a couple of spots here, and now we're actually on track to score some points if I can actually keep it in a straight line. But the rate it's going, not really looking too promising here, but yeah, still pretty much on my own here at the moment. HO got ahead of Neon there, as you probably see. They've started to pull away a little bit here, so I'm pretty much here on my own at the moment, but did slowly start to catch up to these guys again. They're probably struggling a little bit on tyre work, and another corner cutting warning, as you saw. But yeah, it was probably going to be all in vain, because obviously these guys, I think, have got less penalties than me. So I think the more important thing is you can see the rear tyres are really dying off here. So I was pretty much in managing mode. But you can probably see in the mini-map there that that sort of white greyish dot, that's Prez BC. He's actually behind that red dot, which is DRC Jared. I think Jared is actually the race leader. So Jared has actually put Prez lap down. There's another little slide through the final chicane there. We're still hanging on to the back of Neon here, but he's sort of sliding all over the place here. But like I was saying, Jared has sort of lapped Prez BC, so this is going to help me out a lot here, because had Prez not been lapped, he probably would have got position 9 of this race. But now he's been lapped, this is sort of helping me out a little bit here, and may possibly get P9 out of this race. So he'll obviously finish behind Jared. You can probably tell from the difference in the mini-map, which is coming out of sort of the hairpin now down the casino straight. But I was sort of catching these guys, but make a big error coming into the final chicane and decided just to shortcut it there. So sort of lost me all my momentum. I gave it my all in the end to try and finish off the race in style. But anyway, we did slowly catch them up on the final lap, but again, it was all going to be in vain. Jared has won the race, obviously, as you can see. So we're just pretty much in cruise control now. We can pretty much get some points. The rear tyres are absolutely dead. So I think HO and Neon were really struggling towards the end. A little bit sliding there. HO's a bit all over the shop here. Nearly bottled P8, I think. Only just managed to get there across the line. But yeah, we get P9 in the end. So we finally...
As we can see, it's time for the podium. And as the drivers make their way out, there's a familiar red suit making its way to the top step. Fantastic win for Ferrari.
Yeah, sorry, I interrupted Crofty there, but we finally get some points after the last three races with DNF. So, yeah, anyway, yeah, big congrats again to Jared. He wins the race from both the Kiwis in New Zealand Ryan and, of course, Alan Hugo, who's obviously been showing some great pace throughout this whole season. So, don't know what it is with these Kiwi drivers. They're always very quick at the moment. If there's any more quick Kiwi drivers, be sure to join the league. We're more than welcome. Anyway, there's the final results. So Jared, Ryan, Alan, Hugo on the podium. Warden in P4, Fens in 5th, ECR Ricardo in 6th, Neon 7th, HO, myself in P9 and Prez in the 10. Poms, Berserk, Conrad straight there. You got finished a couple of laps down. There's the rest of the gang that have DNF'd, obviously. Exit Dona, Juice Mars. There's probably a few others that I've forgotten. I didn't scroll down again, I don't think. We're just going through all the warnings there. But yeah, there was quite a few DNFs. Rain, obviously, Derek Kidd, I've obviously mentioned Juice Mars, Chimchar, I think it was another one. But anyway, here is the championship standings. Finally, we have this championship standing. So it's a 40-point gap, I think it is, between Ryan and Jarrett. Alan Hugo's a couple of points behind. Warden's still in P4. We're currently position 13 at the moment. We did, I think, gain maybe a couple of points over President Cosby. There's the over Pres BC, actually, sorry. It's Constructors Championship as well. Force India still leading the way over Ferrari, and I think that's McLaren in P3. I think it is on the graphic, but Red Bull, I think we're a bit further down the order there. It's either, what are we, P6 possibly, or P6. I think we're P6 by the looks of things. So, yeah, not really looking too good at the moment, but anyway, hopefully you enjoyed that. Certainly was an entertaining Canadian Grand Prix. If you did, be sure to give it a big smash on that like button. You leave your comments down below as always. Subscribe to my channel for plenty more SRL APAC content on F1 2018, plus plenty more video gaming content as well. As always, all my social media links will be down in the description, as well as the SRL website, their YouTube channel, and their Twitch channel. Be sure to tune in every Friday night at 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. To Minchie 950 and of course Owens 1503 do the commentary as always. They do a great job. But until the next one, which will be at the French Grand Prix, hopefully we can get another decent result at that circuit. It is goodbye, and I'll see you all next time.